Ugh. Sorry, my hands are cold and this isn't the best. So I don't know if you can see this, but this thing is just like, look, oh, you can't really tell because of snow, but there's tons of knots on this thing. This is a well-seasoned piece of wood. You know, it's been through 4 seasons, probably 5, and I've got the knife right in there. Pretty solid. Definitely don't normally baton stuff like this with any knife, but just for the video, right? Okay, I've got no worries of going through the rock anytime soon. Going through to the rock anytime soon. Everything's super wet, so I need more feathers. I need feather sticks, which means back to batoning here. This is maple. This is really hard maple. No, not like seasoned maple, but look, no knots in it, and so nice. Splits so nice, eh? Those saber grinds, they really, once you get that, you know, initial crack, they really do a nice job. Normally I'd never baton over a stone, but I feel like I can stop this thing in time. So this is JX Omega. It's another video on it. I've done a couple on my channel about this knife already. Sorry, my T's on there. And I just want to do another one. I've had this knife for a year now. I got the first batch that came out. I got one. And of course, I'm sitting right in the smoke here. And I just kind of thought I'd let you know how I like it or not. And also, there's a couple things that I forgot to mention in the previous videos I did. Sorry, not really forgot. I just didn't really think of them at the time. As I've had it longer, I've noticed those things. And so I'm just gonna bring them up really quick and then kind of let you know how I still like the knife. First thing I want to mention is to carry it. So it is a big knife. It's only an 8-inch blade, but it has a really big handle, which basically makes the knife. Sorry guys, I know it's kind of annoying to listen to me talk, and like I start talking and I stop to deal with fire, but it's choking me out. So yeah, the handle really makes the knife. The design, I love the design, it's awesome. But one thing I like to mention is because of the big handle, if you're trying to belt carry this, like I like to carry it cross draw or you know, or standard, like that's how I like to carry survival knives. If you like to carry a belt carry also, you're gonna find that if you're trying to carry a heavy pack with a hip belt, it's just really fights with it because the handle rides up like it sits on your belt and it rides like this, kind of right in where the hip belt goes. So you have to like tuck the belt in, and it is kind of annoying. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I kind of fight with it because I like carrying it like that. But if you might want to consider, you might want to mount it like on a pack or something because it is MOLLE compatible, or budget carry or something, or you might want to just deal with it like I am. But I just thought I mentioned that it does kind of get in the way of packs, the hip belts for packs. Also, I gotta back up a bit here. So also, while we're kind of on that topic here, so the sheath. So the sheath is awesome. It's Kydex. I mentioned that in the last videos. It comes with these clips here. They're big clips. They're like 4-inch clips. They're MOLLE compatible. You can, unclip it, tuck it through MOLLE and clip it back in. And they are a little big on a belt, but I don't mind. It's not tight, but I don't mind that. With cross draw, I kind of like the fact that it moves a little bit. And when I first got them, I thought they looked kind of flimsy. Like that was kind of my first impression, but they actually are really tough. They hold up super well, and there's no complaints with that. These little eyelets here, they're good for mounting D-rings, or mounting, you can mount little carabiners or whatever and like do a makeshift dangler somehow if you don't want to try and make a real one with a D-ring. And also they're set up so with the strap you can carry it Baldric carry or Ranger carry. But when I first got this, I got Blade Tech mounts, the 2 singular ones, and thought I was going to use it with this knife, but they don't actually work. They don't line up with the holes very well. You'd actually have to end up drilling new holes to get it to work because you can only get like 1 screw in on each one. So that's something to consider, just in case you thought the same thing I did when you bought the knife. You're like, oh, I'm gonna go out and get those Blade Techs. You're gonna have to modify your sheath to make it work. So just so you know, but all in all, I like these clips. They're pretty good, and all that. So that's the sheath and carrying it. The handle's kind of long, and you kind of have to live with those clips, having a lot of wiggle room, unless you want to modify stuff or make a dangler or something. So that's that. But the other thing is the steel. So Sk85, I did a video on that talking about Sk85, and I kind of mentioned like you can kind of get a spark with a piece of quartz or like flint or something for flint and steel fire. I just didn't know if it would work or not. And basically the reality is, yeah, you can get tiny little sparks every now and then, but it is impossible to do a flint steel fire with this. Like I don't know. Like if you can, you're the man, and I have a lot of respect for you. I've tried to do a flint steel fire with this, and I can't do it. So the sparks that you do get, they're just too tiny, and I just couldn't do it. I put a lot of time into it, and I couldn't do it. So it's not like 01 tool steel or 1095 where you can use, you know, if they're heat treated right, you can use them for flint steel fire. This doesn't do that. If you're that guy, you have to have your knife to be able to back up flint and steel striker. This isn't for you, just so you know. On that note, while we're talking about that, Sk85 is awesome steel. I love it. It's got a lot going for it. I wish I could get a flint steel fire going with it, because I do like that, but it doesn't. But one thing that I'd say that is a negative-ish kind of thing is, so you get 1095 and 01 tool steels, they rust like crazy, right? Because there's a lot of iron in them, and that's why they work so good for flint steel fires. This thing rusts like crazy, like worse than they do. And you can't use it for a flint steel fire, right? So that's one thing to consider. Also, 1095 and 01 tool steel, I can get them to patina pretty good over, you know, a little bit of time. What I do is I use really thick motor oil, like 10W50 or something like that, and then I keep coating it and cleaning it and coating it until it like patinas really good, and then I'll switch to a food grade oil or something, and I'll just light coat it, because once it patinas, they do have pretty good rust resistance. This, man, I could not get this to patina for the life of me. Like, it's been a year, and I finally have a bit of a patina on it, and it's showing a little bit of rust resistance, or resistance to oxidization. But man, like, I vinegared it and vinegared it and vinegared it and did everything I could think of, you know, everything you can do to make a knife patina, I did it, and it was hard to get this thing to patina nice. I'm finally getting it now. It's been a year. It definitely looks cool. Like, my knife's really dirty, so you're probably not gonna be able to notice, but I don't know if you can notice, like, the multicolor in the steel, how it looks kind of like, there's almost like a wash to it, like some darker and lighter. That's part of the patina. It patinaed cool, like, it looks cool. It just took a really long time, and it still is. I still get a little bit of oxidization in the fueler here and all that, and I have to clean it out and oil it up and stuff, but yeah, so that's one thing to know. It's you're gonna have to take care of it for a while. You're gonna have to, you take care of all your knives, but you're gonna have to spend a little extra care on this one for the first year or so. So that's basically all I can think of that I didn't mention in the other ones that I should have. Other than that, had it for a year, been an awesome knife. Love it. Other than the couple negative things I said about it, it's been great. I go out in the bush a lot. I'm like at least once a week. Certain times of the year I'm out like almost every night. And it's been great, man. It's been great. It's always on me. Almost always on me. I love the design, man. Like, it's just, I wouldn't change a thing about the design. They nailed home with it. It's super awesome. It's basically like a hatchet with this long handle. I can rough stuff out with this. Like, I don't know if I can kind of show you here. It's pretty much like a hatchet. Like, it's got good balance to it and all that. It comes up, it carves great because it balances good in your hand for carving. It balances great for chopping. It's super tough. I can basically flat out say I've abused this knife, and it's held up great. It's super tough. This steel, man, the steel is tough. I would say this is a tougher steel than 1095. This is a pretty tough steel. Like, this is, probably like a 1080 or something like that. Like, I don't know, maybe even tougher than that. It's awesome. It I've thrown it and missed and had it, like, heard it bounce off the rock, and I'm pretty sure it bounced off blade side, and I've never had a chip in the blade. So I had a little bit of rolling, I think, from that, but no chips in the blade. So like I said, I've been pretty hard on it, and it's held up. So love this knife. Lots of good things to say about it. And then those couple things that, you can decide if that bothers you or not. But yeah, all in all, awesome knife.